Claressa Shields just triggered a storm. And this time, the internet isn't debating rumors, it's dissecting receipts. Flight records, timestamps, event schedules, every detail paints a picture that's impossible to ignore. Shields was booked for a major Salida Promotions event in Atlanta, the same company tied closely to her growing business empire and boxing rebrand. For an entire week, she pushed herself as the future face of boxing promotions, hyping partnerships, sponsorships, and executive-level ambitions. Then, hours before one of the biggest nights tied to that image, she vanished. Instead of staying in Atlanta to handle business, she boarded a flight to New York for a loud, highly publicized Mother's Day weekend event connected to Papoose, a married man, and documented the entire thing online. That decision instantly changed the conversation. People became obsessed with photos, body language, and facial expressions. But critics say the real story was the timing. She didn't leave after obligations were finished. She abandoned the city during the middle of the promotional buildup and stepped straight into a public spectacle guaranteed to spark controversy. The seating arrangement only fueled the fire. Social media users noticed the empty chair beside her, turning one small detail into a symbol of a much bigger narrative. According to online speculation, the trip exposed a pattern people claim has been building for months, dating back to earlier appearances tied to Papoose. Whispers about Katia, old Remy Ma references, and alleged behind-the-scenes tension suddenly resurfaced all at once. But the harshest criticism isn't even about romance, it's about reputation. In boxing and entertainment, missing key appearances can quietly destroy trust. Industry insiders may tolerate scandals, but they rarely forgive unpredictability. Behind closed doors, executives allegedly attach dangerous labels to stars who skip major obligations. Unreliable, risky, liability. And for someone trying to transform herself from champion athlete into corporate powerhouse, that perception can hit harder than any opponent in the ring. Now the internet is split. Some see a woman chasing personal happiness regardless of public backlash. Others see someone risking years of career building for attention and emotional chaos. Either way, one thing is clear. Once people saw that flight record and connected the timeline, the entire story stopped looking accidental. And in an industry built on image, sometimes the loudest confession isn't words, it's the seat someone chose to sit in. No sponsorship deal on earth can rescue a brand ambassador who refuses to show up. Boxing is built on discipline, presence, and pressure. You either make weight or you lose everything tied to your name. And according to critics watching this unfold, Claressa Shields lost far more than a fight that night. She allegedly traded professional credibility for a folding chair at a concert where the man she chased barely acknowledged her existence. Her Instagram painted one story: excitement, luxury boxes, flashing lights, non-stop recording. But the real story was hidden outside the camera frame. She never once showed the seat beside her. Why? Because Papoose reportedly was not sitting there. Same event, same room, same night. Yet no footage showed them interacting like an actual couple. While she documented every second trying to prove a moment, he was allegedly focused on everyone else, even sharing dinner with family while she floated through the background unnoticed. That image hit the internet hard. A woman flying across state lines to be seen with a man who allegedly treated her like another guest in the building. Critics didn't call it romance. They called it obsession. Some even compared it to a fan desperately forcing herself into a story where the ending had already been written. And this wasn't viewed as an isolated incident. Online chatter immediately connected it to Papooses' birthday weekend, where rumors claimed she showed up around his inner circle but was never truly included. Allegedly, she wasn't placed with family or kept close to his private gatherings. Instead, whispers say she was booked into a separate Airbnb while he remained elsewhere with the people closest to him. To many observers, that arrangement screamed one thing: distance disguised as politeness. Now people are questioning the motive behind every trip, every post, every carefully timed upload. Some believe this isn't about love at all, it's about fear. Fear that another woman might replace her the second she leaves. Fear sparked by rumors surrounding Katia, old clips of Remy Ma resurfacing online, and constant comparisons to wife energy moments from the past. According to this theory, every viral throwback triggered another plane ticket, another appearance, another public attempt to reclaim attention. And once people noticed the pattern, they couldn't unsee it. The posts weren't coming across like memories between two people in love. They looked more like evidence files. Concert clips, dinners, recycled videos from older trips reposted as fresh content. Identical outfits cropped differently to blur timelines and keep fans guessing. Here's the wildest part of this entire saga. While Claressa Shields keeps uploading proof of a relationship, the man at the center of it all allegedly looks completely detached. No reposts, no public support, no matching energy. She's flooding social media with evidence, while Papoose stays silent like a man searching for the nearest exit. And online, people have already started reaching conclusions. Then came the Remy Ma tribute post that sent fans spiraling. Supporters pushed it like fresh evidence of reconciliation, but critics immediately started questioning the timeline. Were the photos recent or recycled? Were old memories being reposted to keep a dead narrative alive? Because if those images were outdated, then the entire happy marriage storyline collapses. Suddenly, this isn't a love triangle, it's a controlled disaster, with the public watching the smoke rise in real time. But this mess doesn't just fall on Claressa. Papoose caught heat too. According to critics, both of them skipped important business obligations to appear at the same flashy event, yet neither looked fulfilled. He allegedly spent the evening eating, talking with family, and avoiding direct connection with the woman who reportedly crossed states to be near him. Meanwhile, she documented every second trying to prove she belonged there. And then there's the name haunting the rumors, Katia. Social media has been whispering for weeks that there may be other women involved, other situations unfolding behind the scenes. If true, critics believe Claressa's constant flights and appearances aren't romantic gestures, at all they're defensive moves. Every trip becomes surveillance. Every upload becomes territorial marking. Not love, but anxiety wrapped in Instagram stories. The internet also fixated on one subtle detail from the concert footage. Instead of acting like someone comfortable in elite spaces, she reportedly filmed the decor, the boxes, the furniture almost like she needed proof she made it inside. Observers say truly powerful people don't record every velvet rope they cross. They walk through it naturally. To them, the non-stop filming looked less like confidence and more like someone trying to convince herself she belonged in the room. And through all the clips, one thing stood out most: body language. People can fake captions. They can fake smiles. But they struggle to fake instinct. Throughout the night, Papoose allegedly looked everywhere except at her food, family, strangers, anything but the woman documenting his presence. The coldest part of this entire situation wasn't the gossip, it was the silence. In a packed concert full of flashing lights, booming music, and cameras everywhere, Papoose allegedly still couldn't bring himself to acknowledge Claressa Shields. No glance, no chemistry, no instinctive connection. And sometimes a turned shoulder screams louder than words ever could. What made it worse was her reaction online during the event itself. While supposedly living her perfect moment, she was simultaneously posting defensive clips, angry responses, and indirect threats aimed at critics. That alone told the internet everything. People who are truly happy don't spend the night fighting strangers on social media. They live in the moment. Critics say the non-stop posting looked less like joy and more like panic control. And that's what made the whole thing tragic to watch. This is Claressa Shields, Olympic gold medalist, world champion. One of the biggest names women's boxing has ever produced. Years of brutal training, injuries, lonely mornings, championship fights, and career-building moves turned her into a global star. She had the chance to become a business powerhouse capable of changing the future for women in sports. But according to critics, all of that power suddenly looked smaller than one empty chair at a concert. The internet's biggest question became brutally simple. If she stopped chasing him, would he ever chase her back? If she stayed focused on Atlanta, ignored the noise, and stopped boarding flights to prove loyalty, would Papoose cross states for her the way she allegedly does for him? Most people watching believe they already know the answer. That's why this story exploded beyond celebrity gossip. To many viewers, it became a warning. Too many people abandon opportunities, careers, peace of mind, and personal growth just to stay close to someone giving them half-hearted attention. Meetings get skipped. Dreams get delayed. Entire futures get traded for temporary validation. And in the end, that empty chair beside her became bigger than the concert itself. It symbolized every moment someone chooses emotional chaos over the life they worked years to build. Because the most dangerous loss isn't losing a relationship. It's losing yourself while trying to prove one exists.